Welcome back to Movies at 2 a.m., the show where we discuss B movies, bad movies, low-budget movies, box office bombs, critical disappointments, and all manner of obscure film. I'm your host, Bryce Huffman, and today I'm joined by the homie Irving. What's up, man?
What's up, man? The second time's a charm.
Yes, we already recorded a season 2 finale, and then unfortunately, JG Studio, the Audio Wave Network on the east side, got broken into, and all of his equipment was stolen. So here we are re-recording the episode for you all. We're going to give you a link at the end of the episode where you can go donate to help out JG and recover some of that stolen equipment.
Support the GOAT. Support the GOAT.
We would appreciate the support. We all know he would definitely appreciate the support. So let's get into this finale, man. It's been a wild season.
Yes. Very black. Very classic films. Some very abominable films. I mean, honestly, I think we had a good list this season. And you know what, and this is kind of a tangent. I know we're crunched for time, but I have to throw this out there. So this is a complete sidebar. Have you seen the movie Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman?
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. I don't know. I've never seen it before. I'd never heard of it. Evan showed it to me the other day, and I was like, this is actually the greatest, blackest film I've ever seen.
Underrated.
A principal telling his kids they're all smoking crack, and they're all going to die or go to jail. I was like, damn, I could have swapped out Booty Caller Johnson Family Vacation for this, and then season would have been even greater. But yeah, no, let's hop into it, man.
Run through the list of the movies that we did cover.
Yeah. So we did 19 films. I'm sorry.
No, we did.
Was it 20? 19? Yeah,
we did 20. Yeah, we did 20.
Not according to this list, we did.
We did, because For Thy Love and Love Trap are one entry.
Right. Okay, two movies in one. Sorry, double feature. So we did Pootie Tang, For Thy Love and Love Trap, Meteor Man, Blank Man, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Major Pain, Haunted Mansion, Vampire in Brooklyn, Cradle to the Grave, Booty Call, X Gave It to Us. Your favorite film, Johnson Family Vacation, Head of State. I'm gonna troll you the rest of your life with that film. You get married one day, like I'm gonna have Cedric the Entertainer come and reenact scenes from that movie. Soul Plane, Baby Boy, Belly, Black Dynamite, Shatas, a personal favorite, Boomerang, and then 5 Heartbeats to close out the season.
Yes, a good season, and like you said, we really did run the gambit of classics, some utter filth, some movies that are like really good but just underrated, and then some movies that, nostalgia really failed us on, like Johnson Family Vacation. Fuck that movie.
It's so good though. It's so good.
It's really not. It's really not a good film. Stop lying to all of us. We know you're a Bow Wow super fan, but that doesn't make the movie any good.
To each his own. I'm a contrarian at heart.
But we have some awards to give out for.
Yeah, I was gonna say you came up with a really cool format for the season 2 finale. And if you wanna, let's run through the awards and see what you came up with, because some of them, I was very excited, and it was very difficult trying to pick who won some of these categories.
Yeah, so we have the top 3 movies that we watched this season. So basically just pick your top 3, your favorite 3. We have our weakest link, just one movie that you really thought was not it, and y'all already know which one I'm picking. I'm pretty sure I know which one you're picking. Best performance, best movie, best friend, so the person who stuck by their homie side the best. The Ronald Reagan Award for the best evil white man. The FOMO Award for the movie that we really wish we had been on set while they were filming it, the best screenwriter, and then best director. And of course, we have a spot for additional flowers to give. The whole reason we started this podcast was to talk about films, give filmmakers, producers, writers, actors, all of them their flowers for movies that kind of fly under the radar. So yeah, there's a section there just to give people more attention that they deserve. So let's start with the top 3, man. What was your top 3 and why?
So I think my opinion actually has changed slightly since we recorded the first season 2 finale. But my top three were Shatas, which, I was fanning out listening to you guest discuss.
Shout
It's
out to Ariel Mock,
Shout
AR.
out to Ariel. Thank you for coming on the show. And it's not a good film, I'll be honest with you. The acting sucks, but it's very entertaining. I'm Jamaican, as I've said many times. So there's definitely that cultural element for me where I'm just like, wow, I don't speak patois, but I've seen shots.
Nah, bro. If you understand that movie, you have to be fluent in Jamaican patois. You really have to be.
And that's why I like the movie, because I don't understand it.
Yo, them subtitles were not in sync with what they were
At
saying at
all,
all.
at all, at all. Oh my god. I have Shatas, I have Black Dynamite, which, I mean, cult classic. I can remember, I think the first time I saw it was on Netflix, and then I spread it like the word of God, like a extreme evangelist. I told everyone, I was like, you have to watch this. We're going to watch this. Oh, you're coming over to my house? We're gonna watch this. Oh, you need a ride to the store? You gotta watch Black Dynamite first.
The Gospel of Black Dynamite.
The Gospel of Black. That would be a great spinoff. And then there was a tie for the third film. It was between Meteor Man and Head of State. And Head of State, I think, is of course a classic that we've all seen. It was promoted. It did really well in the box office. It's even funnier once, following the movie, Barack Obama becoming the first black president. And also like hooping and being like good at basketball, so like some of those tropes were there, and it's like that's hilarious. But I think Meteor Man for me speaks to the genius of Robert Townsend, who you were talking about unsung heroes, doesn't get enough credit. He's had such an impact. I think you can stack him right next to Keenan Ivory Wayans in terms of cultural impact. And
Oh
then
yeah.
especially when you look at the comedy. Comedic entertainment, like across the board, he's just touched so many different people, and provided a platform for so many different careers. And it's also like kind of fun because it's really hard to find, so it's kind of like a prize. It's kind of like when you reach in a cereal box as a kid and you're
I
looking
was
for
just
that
about to
prize.
say that.
It's like, oh my
That's
god, I
exactly
found
what it's
Meteor
like.
Man. Because
Yeah.
I remember we put this on the list not knowing how hard it was to find. And
We
it
had to
got to
go to
the
like
week
some
of,
illegal Black Channel websites to find it online.
and it's just like, damn, all right. But yeah, no, what are your top three?
No surprise, my top three are Head of State, Black Dynamite, and Pootie Tang.
Okay.
Head of State, like you said, like it's a movie that gets funnier over time. Obviously, Barack Obama got elected in '08, so we ended up having our first black president, not that long after the movie came out. But really, to me, it's even funnier seeing Donald Trump like in his presidency and like all the craziness that happened there. Um, it's just like a sign that like white people were really afraid of a black guy getting in the White House, and all of the things that they were like actually afraid of happened with Donald Trump. So it's just really fucking funny to me.
I love
Black Dynamite is
the irony.
yeah, Black Dynamite is so easy for me to pick because it's just like it's the perfect style of humor for me. Like it's very much based on blaxploitation cinema and culture. All of those tropes, good and bad. And it's just funny as hell. Like it's a perfect movie. And then Pootie Tang was kind of like the first blaxploitation movie spoof that I saw. I saw it before I saw a lot of blaxploitation movies, so it was like really influential in building my comedic taste. And it's silly as hell. It's funny. It has aged really well, surprisingly. And yeah, like it's hard to compete with Pootie Tang.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So next, on the opposite end of the spectrum, of course, top
Weakest
three
link.
movies. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah,
What is
mine? I already know. I'm gonna go because I already know. I have so many things I could say terribly about this film, but it's easily Johnson Family Vacation, and
easily though?
so I could have picked Love Trap or
No,
For
you.
Thy Love.
Whoa,
I could have picked one of those two movies for
Whoa, buddy.
being like the lower budget end of movies, right? Like I could have done that. But no, I went with Johnson Family Vacation because when I was 10 or 9, however old I was when this movie first came out, I loved this movie. As an adult rewatching it, the innocence of young Bryce was dying as I was watching this film. Like I hate this film. I really do. I found almost nothing redeeming about it upon rewatch. And may God have mercy on all of our souls for recommending that you all rewatch this film.
Can I ask you this? Because I actually think we didn't recommend. That might have been one of the only films we've ever covered where it's like, I actually don't recommend you watching this. What is your favorite scene from the Johnson Family Vacation? If you had to say anything good about the film.
My favorite scene is when Cedric is trying to reconnect with his estranged wife and they get in the hot tub and then she takes his clothes. Because I'm just thinking, man, she was like really setting him up to be a registered sex offender after that. Like being a grown ass man naked in public is not the move, dog. She was like really plotting on him. So yeah, that was probably my favorite scene.
Wowzers. Okay, so I guess if the ball's being passed to me, my weakest link of the season, it was a tie. It was a tie between Booty Call and Johnson Family Vacation. I know you didn't hate Booty Call to the same extent that I did, but also I had a horrible habit back in the day. I think we both did. Of if I really like something, I'm just gonna watch it over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Some movies have withstood the test of time. Hot Rod. I know we're talking about black films, but I could watch that a million times over. Black Dynamite, same thing. But Booty Call, used to really enjoy it as a kid and watched it a million times. At this big age of 29, I said this was a mistake.
Yeah,
time is precious, and I really don't have time to waste on this terrible fucking movie. But Johnson Family Vacation was also a grueling experience to sit through. It's not good. I remember there was an episode you did with Chrissy, and she was like, "You don't like Johnson Family Vacation?" And you're like, "Fuck no." You are correct. You are 100% in the right. That movie sucks. But Booty Call, I think, sucks even more. So
yeah,
no,
I think
no pun intended.
Yeah, I think with Booty Call, when you were hating on this movie so much, I'm like, you know what? I get it because this movie was made for adults. Like it was made for people around our age, if not a little bit older, and it still didn't age well. Johnson Family Vacation wasn't made to be like an adult movie. It was made to kind of be something that older black folks could watch with their younger relatives. And when you're trying to make something that is palatable for kids, it's really easy to not make something good. But with Booty Call, I get your frustration even more because the older we get, like the worse that movie gets, and it's less forgivable because it's supposed to be for adults. So I get you.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
So I love how you kind of organize this. You have top movies, weakest link, but then it goes to best performance. So
Yes.
out of all the films that we covered, illustrious films, and I think you said utterly, what did you, utterly horrible, or I don't know. You described it very well. I love that. But what is the best performance this season for you?
This one was hard to pick actually. I had a really hard time deciding between Michael Jai White and Black Dynamite, and then the person who I eventually gave the award to, Damon Wayans and Major Payne. And I think for me, it came down to two things. We had seen Damon Wayans in Blank Man, which is a very goofy, funny ass movie, but it's just such a different type of movie than Major Payne, which only came out like a year later. So for me, it's like the whiplash of watching him go from that to that. And then we also did I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, and his character is very different in that. So I'm thinking about like the difficulty to maneuver between roles. And with Major Payne, it's like, to me, he spends so much of the movie ridiculing and traumatizing children. And to me, that's just hilarious. So I had to give it to him. How about you? Who won it for you?
You know that makes you sound insane, right?
I'm sure it does.
Okay. As long as you know.
I've made peace with
Um,
that.
you're sick. You are sick. My best performance is going to Tavion Clark, who played Michael from For Thy Love. It is one of the films that connected me and my now
I'm sorry.
fiance. Are you
I'm sorry.
crying? Oh,
That's so funny. I'm thinking of the movie now. I'm thinking of his face at the end. Oh my god.
and I've just never seen someone deliver such. It's like give the man an Oscar, bro. Like I've never and maybe he's like this in real life. I don't know,
I really hope he's
but
not.
I really hope so as well. But the way that he portrayed this character, I really felt this guy fucking sucks and is a loser.
Yeah.
and and I think the way that they wrote the character of just from like the sex scenes to him come ejaculating prematurely and like rolling over in the bed and his girl looking mad and him just sighing. Like I was just like, yeah, this guy is brilliant. Like put a bigger budget behind this guy. Put him in some more films. Like I, I mean, Before That Love came out in like 2005, I think it was. So a
Something
very
like
long
that.
time ago. But this guy deserved more. It's like you got those guys from the hood that are good at sports that are just entrenched in the hood so they don't make it out. My man's is entrenched in like low budget films, but he deserves like put him in Oppenheimer, put him in Barbie. Like,
Honestly, him in the Barbie movie would have been fucking hilarious. I would have paid. I would have been very happy to see him show up in that movie.
but no, he's like shout out to you, Tavian Clark. You're goated in my book. I know no one else knows who you are.
Bro, there is a
But
chance you have walked past him on the streets of New York and not known it was him.
it's probable. It's probable. I'll preach to the mountaintops. All of our viewers, watch For Thy Love, please, please. Like you don't have to watch. Do not watch Johnson Family Vacation. Do not watch Battlefield Earth, the year 3000. Like watch For Thy Love.
Season one humor. I love it. I love it.
Season one.
So
Um, so
who was your favorite movie best friend?
Well, so again, this is our second time recording this, but I said it in the first time, and you were like, I didn't know if this was fair. It's definitely Bernie Mac's character in Head of State, Mitch Gilliam, um, brothers and best friends. He became his running mate.
R.I.P.
Like
Bernie Mac.
R.I.P. to the Mac. Um, isn't he named after? Isn't the Big Mac named after Bernie Mac?
I
Or did
don't
I
know.
make that up? Okay,
I have
I'm
no.
gonna make that
I
up.
hope that's true now. I want
I'm
that to be true. I'm not gonna look it up because once I
we're
look it up, I'll have confirmation on if that's true or not. But
we're saying it's true because it's Black
I'm gonna
History.
start. I'm gonna start lying to everyone and saying that now.
So did you know that the Big Mac is named after Bernie Mac? McDonald's don't come for us. Their legal department. This podcast ever blows up, they're gonna be like, "We got you, nigga." And then that's when I will give them the Best Evil White Man award. But yeah, no, it's Bernie Mac. The Love of Two Brothers. I feel like if you were running for president, it would be the same dynamic of me trying to support you
Yeah.
to help you win the presidency. But Unbreakable Bond, iconic. Him at the train station,
And just
smacking
walking
the
in and
shit out of the
slapping people.
reporters. Come on, man. You can't compete with that. What about you?
Yeah. That's a great pick. I had considered that, but to avoid picking the same one as you, I've got to go Bullhorn from Black Dynamite, portrayed
Bullhorn is
by
great.
Byron Mins, who had the difficult task of trying to rhyme all of his lines in the movie. And then there's a moment where he can't find a word that rhymes, so he just stays quiet in thought. And he's just so committed to it, but also like from a character perspective, like he's just down to help Black Dynamite take it to the white man, and you got to have people like that on your side at all times. I
You're right.
originally I really wanted to say Truckee from Pootie Tang, played by JB Smoove, but
Truckee
Truckee is
was not a
actually a
real one.
terrible friend.
Truckee is not a real one. Truckee is
Yeah,
not a real one at
Truckee is
all.
actually a terrible friend. Like he sold Pootie out to Irene, He left him at the farm after like a day and a half of working. Like he was actually not a great friend, but it would have been a funny pick. But on to the award that is probably the funniest one we have, the Ronald Reagan Award for the best evil white man.
I'd like to hear yours first.
So this one was actually really tough to pick. But I have to go with Mr. Big, played by John Vernon, and I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, because much like all the other evil white men that we covered this season, his plot was really just to disrupt things for the black man and for the black community. But John Vernon is such a good villain. Like in a lot of other movies, he's almost always playing the evil white man. Even in movies where there's no other race of characters, like he's the evil white man in Animal House, which is crazy because all of them are kind of sort of evil white men, but we'll get into that another day. But at one point, he says, like, you thought I was going to be above being in this film? Get out of here. So, like, it's just the self-awareness of knowing who he is and what he is that is hilarious to me.
I love that, and that's a really good one. I actually changed mine from the first time that we shot this. And mine, you're really gonna. This one's gonna blow your mind. It's actually Tom Arnold, and it's fusing some of his roles from various movies. So his villain origin story starts in Soul Plane, where his whole family is trying to be black. And then his racism manifests in Cradle to the Grave.
Oh, man, that's a good pick. I didn't even think about that.
Because, I mean, I know after I was unable to co-host the episodes, the racism definitely got watered down, which it should have, because I think we were taking it to a place it didn't need to go. But, yeah, no, Tom Arnold in Cradle to the Grave, that's some top tier racism, man.
Bro, he was so racist in that movie, but like
it went from covert to overt real quick. Zero to 100.
Because my man just like on the side of the protagonist, like his racism is just excused. It's like it's so funny. It is so funny.
So yeah, no, that's my pick. I wanted to kind of mix it up from last time.
So what was your FOMO movie? The movie that you wish you had been on set for when they were filming?
So I changed a few of my answers from last time. Truly, I think it would probably be Black Dynamite. No, it's a three-way tie. It's between Black Dynamite, The Five Heartbeats, and Baby Boy. Baby Boy because
I'm
I
surprised
feel
you
like
said Baby Boy. I for sure thought you were gonna say Belly.
I needed to show it some. Oh no, I don't want to be on the set of Belly. I don't want to be on the set of Belly. No, I'm good. I mean, I feel like it's really easy, especially moving to New York, to be on the set of a music video. So like, I'm good. That's all Belly is to me.
It's a long music video that ends with someone talking about Africa while it shows Times Square.
Truth be told, if we didn't have Johnson Family Vacation and Booty Call on this list this season, Belly easily would have been my weakest. Like, I fucking hate that movie. That movie fucking sucks. But yeah, I think from those three films, one being on set with John Singleton would just be iconic. R.I.P. to the legend. And then like seeing like Tyrese and Snoop Dogg, like that's just so funny.
And you would have been around Ving Rhames on set, who is apparently like very funny, despite what he looks like.
But that's how he's like that's the role that he's taking. I love Ving Rhames. Black Dynamite I definitely would have tried to pivot that into a PA job and then trying to get into a writer's room. And then what's the other film that I just said? Please remind me. Don't be a lifeline. Oh, Five Heartbeats, because again, I feel like it would have been a great experience being around Robert Townsend in his element. Love a musical. Talking to Big Red. Trying to figure out how to draft 360 deals. It'd be very helpful in the future. So what about you?
I would have probably... I think the answer for me has to be Black Dynamite because of just like how funny the movie is. Like when I think about the stuff that I want to do in my career, that is the kind of set that I would want to be on and like learn from.
You
Just
get
like
kicked off the set though.
oh yeah, I'd be laughing too hard to be on any of these movie sets, even for bad movies. I'd have got kicked off the set of Johnson Family Vacation when the evil witchy white girl was in there. Like I would have been laughing too hard at how terrible it is. But for Black Dynamite, like just the whole element of it would have been like being on a blaxploitation movie set with people who know that some of those movies aren't any good. And that would have just been hilarious to me. Like, yeah. It would have been funny as fuck. But if I had to pick another movie, because that's what I picked last time, it easily would be Head of State. Because I don't know why this is surprising to so many people, but being around Bernie Mac and Chris Rock just sounds fucking hilarious to me.
I'm gonna tell you that we don't stop. I'm gonna tell you that we don't stop.
Yeah, and I mean, especially now that I've had to cover politics a little bit as a journalist, like being on a set of a movie that's lampooning our political culture in America, just priceless. Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I guess I'll segue right into the Best Screenwriter Award, which I would definitely give to Chris Rock and Ali Leroy for Head of State.
Love that.
Because writing a movie is hard, right? And all of these movies on this list that we've covered are kind of a testament to how hard it can be to write a movie. Writing a movie about politics that ends up aging very, very well, even harder. So kudos to those guys for putting together just a funny-ass movie, and then B, a movie that literally gets funnier the more time goes on. And
I agree.
I don't know what's going to happen in the 2024 election. I have no idea. But Lord knows I'm going to be watching Head of State while all of that foolishness unfolds.
Everything you see in Head of State is going to manifest into this next election cycle. I just want to throw that out there. Which is not a good thing. For me, it was, again, and I keep breaking the rules, so I apologize, a three-way tie. Keenan Ivory Wayans, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. That is the antithesis of comedy these days. I don't think you can find a black comedy film that doesn't give back to I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. That is the origin. Pootie Tang, because a white man writing a blaxploitation film is...
Oh, man. In a movie that's like is actually funny as hell.
And problematic, but so good that you have to look past how problematic it is. Like, that's very impressive, I must say. And then, of course, Black Dynamite. Like, we're going to continue to give them all the nods. I feel like a lot of people have seen it, but I feel like there are still a lot of people I've run into that have not seen it, which is a problem.
I still have to show it to Charisse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope she likes it. But shout out to...
It might almost be too goofy for her, but we'll see.
I have high hopes. Shout out to Michael J. White, Scott Sanders, Byron Mins. Like, you guys put your big toes in that film. Like, I loved growing up watching blaxploitation films with my dad and kung fu films. It's like the perfect fusion of both. So, I mean, it's great. That's a great film, man.
They understood what niggas wanted to see.
They did. Yeah. I'm niggas.
Yes, and niggas is me. Best director, who are you giving that one to?
I don't want to make this too long because it's Scott Sanders, Black Dynamite. Like, if this was the Oscars, he's running away with a lot of hardware.
He's pulling off that Everything Everywhere All at Once, just sweeping, huh?
Deservingly so.
Yeah. I had John Singleton in mind because Baby Boy's
wrong.
not my...
Which is wrong.
Well,
which is wrong.
Hold on.
Because you're bending
favorite.
the category. You're bending the category.
You've been bending all of these categories. Shut the hell up. Shut your dumb ass up. But
bringing that hate out. Yeah.
Now, Baby Boy is not my favorite John Singleton movie. I need to say that up top. It's not my favorite of his, but it's a movie that pulls together everything he had been trying to talk about for the past, at that point, 11 or 12 years of filmmaking. And it pulls it together in a way where it's like, is it a perfect film? No. But you're able to be really sincere and really goofy and really funny and have something that you legitimately want to say and talk about to our community and pull it together in a movie that people still watch very regularly. Like BET and VH1 still play Baby Boy on TV all the goddamn time. So
That's
I got to
because
give
they're
you
trying to
credit for
destroy the black community.
that. Back to the evil white man. Viacom CEO is like, if we just keep playing this film, all of their problems will persist.
Their brains are turning into mush. I hate you, punk ass Jody. Oh my god.
Yes, hate. So that hatred between the black man and the black woman. Nah.
Jesus Christ, man. So for the last category, it's been the theme of the show in general. It's one of the reasons we created the show. Unsung heroes of the season. You said pick five deserving actors. So I would love to start with you. See, I'm a little scared based off of some of these answers you've been giving me, but.
Yeah, so for me, it's not just actors or actresses, but it's just
Okay.
people who were involved in these films who I think,
Okay.
not just between like our show, but like in general, just don't get enough attention and reverence. So I got to start with Adrian Young, who did the music and the editing for Black Dynamite. Because
Okay.
in most blaxploitation movies, the music and the editing is really what makes it come alive. I have to go shout out Keenan Ivory Wayans. We give him his flowers, me and you, but there's just not enough attention on how instrumental he is to black comedy. Same with David Allen Greer, who was obviously in Blank Man, was in Boomerang. He's a Detroit guy, so shout out. John Witherspoon has been in so many of the movies that we talked about this year.
Shout out to Detroit.
Yeah, without really being the star of any of the films, but still leaving his imprint on all of them. So, John Witherspoon, you're a guy.
R.I.P. Goat.
Yeah, R.I.P. And then I wanted to give a shout out to, and I never remember her name, but the actress from
Arlisha Love. Arlisha
Yes.
Love. She's on mine.
Yes. You understood exactly where I was going with that. That
Arlisha
poem that she
Love.
gave is just incredible. And the last additional flower to the guy who stood up after her poem and applauded, because I don't think that was acting. I think that was genuine. But how about you, Irving?
It's just so funny because I know we got to wrap up really quickly, but whenever you say I don't know the actor or actress's name, I'm like, it's either Love Trap or For Thy Love, so that was an easy giveaway. Arlisha Love for her poem, her hood, black. What is the movie with Lorenz Tate?
You're thinking of Love Jones.
Yeah, her Love Jones poem, phenomenal. I have John Witherspoon as well, R.I.P. I have Wyclef Fashatas. I love that. Shout out to Haiti. I have DMX, R.I.P. A lot of dead people in this season, which is very unfortunate. And then I have Snoop Dogg because, come on, man, Soul Plane, Rodney, I love it. But no, we wanted to close out. Bryce started with saying the reason that we actually had to record this episode. JG's studio, as you know, the Audio Wave Network got broken into a few weeks ago, and we wanted to make sure you guys have a way to reach out and support the guy that supported the podcasting community in Detroit and giving us all a platform to express ourselves creatively, professionally, etc. So please follow him on the Audio Wave Network on Instagram. There's a link to the fundraiser, Broken In But Not Broken. And whatever you can contribute, please, $10, $5, it all helps. But we're trying to build back the studio, and that's the goal. So
right.
close us out, Bryce.
Yeah, it's been real for season 2, man. Thank you for listening and watching. And season 3 will be a little bit different than this one, but we'll see you for season 3. Peace.
Peace.